Hey everybody, it's Coin Snobz. I'm Keith,
And I'm Jason.
and we picked up another haul of customer wrapped rolls, and we got a good variety. Didn't get a whole lot of rolls, but we're gonna go through them and see how we did.
Yep, I can't wait for the dimes. Dimes are kind of a pain, but that's all right. You never know. There could be some silver in there. But, yep, we'll go through them, check them out, and I will show you guys the interesting ones. Be right back. Guys, and welcome back. Let's take a look-see at some of the goodies that we found. First off, for the Pennies side, we've got a 2019 Philadelphia, which is pretty cool to begin with because we don't get a lot of Philadelphias out here, at least not shortly after they are struck, since we're on the west side of the United States. But the cool part about this one, on top of being uncirculated, unfortunately it's got some nasty spots on it here and there, so it's not going to be a high mint state coin, is that it also has a little bit of struck through right there. Just a little bit. Just enough to give it some character. Other than that, it is a good looking coin. Maybe a little... no, that's just a spot. Alright. And then we've got some Wheaties. First one, 1958D. Of course, it's an extremely common wheat cent. No errors and or varieties on this guy, but it's a wheat cent, so that's cool. We'll add this to the 50 billion other wheat cents that we've got. $1957D, again extremely common. However, this one has some die chips. Got one right there in the 9, so we've kind of got a filled 9. And also one in the bottom part of the B in Liberty. It's not something that's worth $1 million, but again, we'll keep it. Kind of a cool error. 1942, getting a little bit older. Kind of got a little bit of a trail coming off of the 2 and the 42 there. Sort of interesting. A little bit too thick to be a die break. Could be something where maybe a chunk of the die was had actually chipped out. Hence why a lot of people call it a die chip. Interesting die chip though. And there's a little bit of extra material there on the rim. So that whole little area there had a bit of a problem. Other than that, it looks exactly like you would expect it to look for a coin from 1942. $1958, plain. Again, a common year. And it's not the double die obverse. Didn't expect it to be, of course. There's only, I think, 2 of those found, if I remember correctly. But, I mean, the way we kind of look at it is, if there's 2 of them out there, there's got to be at least one more, right? Not too shabby. And then as far as the nickels, I mean, we found a lot of older nickels. As we've said before, we keep anything 1959 and back. So we found quite a few of those, but I'm not going to bore you with those guys. They're just really common, nothing special. But we did find this 1979S. Filled S variety, proof nickel. This is, I think, only the second proof nickel that we found coin roll hunting. She's been circulating for a little bit, but still not bad. And I mean, it's still a proof. You can still see the mirror fields in the background. You can still see the nice frosty devices. So it was definitely at one point a decam. I mean, I guess technically it still would be a decam, but it's going to be a very low grade. But hey, we've saved it from circulating, so that's all right. Not too shabby. And then as far as the dimes go, found a couple of interesting dimes. 1988 Philadelphia. Double rim. Definitely an older die state. Got a little bit of like black Sharpie or something like that around his eye area. But the reason why we kept it is because it's got that die chip right there above the torch. And as you guys can see, it's definitely an older die. Got all that metal flow coming out, and it looks like a lot of this actually could be from being polished. Could be polish marks. There's a little bit of something right there. A little bit of something right there above the N in unum. And these are raised too, by the way. And it's kind of hard to tell on the scope, but those two little guys there are definitely raised. This one you can tell for sure is raised. That one's easy to see on the scope. And then we had a 1989 Philadelphia with similar strange issues. Right here in front of the mouth, we've got a little raised piece. Right in front of the eye, that is also raised. But the really weird part is right here on his forehead, the top of his forehead. And now, at first I thought, okay, maybe this is a clashed coin, because that almost looks like the bottom of one of the little, it's not the torch, but like the little branches on the reverse, which I'll show you that in a minute. But putting it against an overlay, that's not where it would be. So I think that's just a die chip from the die starting to fall apart from it being such an older die. But it's really cool looking. I mean, it looks like he has a little extra piece of hair right there. Reverse, of course, a little bit chunked up. Really chunked up across the torch. Really, 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 really damaged, actually. Unfortunately, because I guess you got to take the bad with the good, right? But see, at first I thought, okay, this big a clash die where, you know, if you don't remember, clash dies are where the anvil die comes together with the hammer die with no planchet in between them, and they make an imprint of each other on one another. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's the bottom of this right here, bottom of this branch, but unless it shifted quite a bit forward, that's definitely not it. I mean, it's a very similar shape, which is kind of trippy, but not it. And if you were curious as far as what I was saying with the hammer and the anvil die, The anvil die is the reverse die, and it actually sits in the press stationary. The hammer die is the one that actually comes down and strikes the coin, and that is the obverse die. There we go. And then as far as quarters, we got a Balboa. Republica de Panama. Really awesome looking eagle. And the shield. I really like how artistic their coins are. 1993. And the obverse has Mr. Balboa on it. Not too bad. It's always fun to find those. And as far as the quarters go, we have a really cool, I believe this is more in the Pacific. No, this is a different one. Blue Ridge Parkway. Pretty decent shape. Reverse, well, it's got some damage there above the mountain. But the reverse has some pretty cool color on it. And typically, because this one has been circulated, we wouldn't keep this coin, except the obverse has some really cool color on it. We got some golds, some blues. Gets really rich towards $quarter. But again, really cool color, so we'll keep that one. Does it make it worth any more money? Not really. It's just eye appeal. But, I mean, we like it. That's the idea behind coin collecting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to invest in it, as far as a monetary value, but it's also cool to get and keep what you like. And then we've got another San Francisco strike proof. This one is a quarter. Not too bad shape. Again, it's been circulating for a while, so it's got some circulation on it. It's not like it was just pulled out of the proof set yesterday, but it's still pretty neat. And it's still a proof coin. This one is Indiana State Quarter. 2002. It's definitely not the worst proof that we've found in circulation. That we've found some where we almost couldn't even tell that it was a proof coin at one point. But it's a proof. We'll take it. And then something that I didn't even realize existed. Got a business strike. Decent looking business strike. Got some damage across the face. But it's a San Francisco. A San Francisco business strike. As you guys know, typically they strike the proof coins. War in the Pacific. But as it turns out, from the mint, you can buy San Francisco struck National Park quarters. Struck in San Francisco from the mint. Business strikes, actual circulation strikes. I mean, obviously, I guess you would consider these nifsies not intended for circulation, because you could buy them in from the mint in bags and rolls. So they're intended for collectors, but I guess sometimes people gotta break the rolls open and spend them, unfortunately. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for us. But it's really, really trippy to see an S mint mark on a circulation coin. So yeah, that was pretty awesome to find. But as far as everything else goes, I mean, we found some Denver's trucks, San Antonio quarters, really nice mint state, but I'm not going to bore you with those guys. Found some 2009 quarters, so of course we're going to keep those. Found a Canadian penny, Canadian nickel. Some 2009 pennies, including one of them being the formative years, but unfortunately, there is no double die on that. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty much just mint state coins and a couple of little things here and there, but this is the more interesting stuff. In this video, I also wanted to ask you guys a favor. If you could, down in the comments, let us know kind of the direction that you want the channel to go. I have some new ideas to kind of break up the monotony and to do new things with it. I kind of want to do like some more educational videos, maybe like some videos as to how to start coin collecting for fun, and then maybe one where it's coin collecting for profit. Things like that. I mean, naturally, you always want to maximize your value either way you go. But I wanted to kind of discuss, like different albums that you can use, different levels of albums, different loops and things like that. But just kind of let us know, which direction you want us to take this in, because I kind of want to branch out a little bit and do a few different things here and there. Like maybe Mondays we could look at coin roll hunting stuff that we found. Maybe Wednesdays we can do like educational stuff or whatever. Just try to get some ideas from you guys. But either way, thank you guys very much for checking it out. Love you all. God bless. And we will see you soon. Take care.